Welcome back, everyone. This is Bluegrass Dreams It Seems, and my name is Cheryl. I was gone for about 10 days. I did create some videos to release. Hope you got to see those. I know quite a few comments were left, and I did do one attempt at a short, but I did it wrong. So it's a tiny little video of what I do when I'm out of town. Excuse me for being hoarse. I've been up for about an hour. It seems like it's just going to be one of those days that you have a hoarse voice. Maybe it'll progressively get better during the video as I talk, but we'll just kind of see how that goes. So I have not been able to do a whole lot since I've returned home because we came home to a few things. But before I get to that, I know you would like to know an update about my grandson. He is doing wonderful. Thank you for all your thoughts, prayers, comments, good well wishes. I was just overwhelmed. Thank you so much. So like I said, some things occurred after I got back that's kind of slowed me down as far as getting back to my white shirt. I do have it cut out. I do know how I'm finishing up that back panel so I can cut out the back part of the shirt and pretty much have everything else worked out in my head as far as details and things. So I'm not going to get a chance to work on that till later today, and I'll probably just go ahead and release this video. My hope is that maybe sometime Monday or Tuesday I can release a video just about the shirt, provided nothing else happens. I came home to a car that I have run flat tires on my car. It came with the car when I bought it, and we knew that they were getting close to needing to be replaced. We had purchased an insurance, which you can get for a tire protection plan for things like, you know, you run over a nail or something like that, which is exactly what happened to this one tire. There was a nail in it. But because of run flats, you can air it back up, and it's a very slow leak, but you can't take that nail out. Ruins the tire. So we just went ahead and just replaced all of them. So now I have new tires on my car, so that was one thing that happened. And then another thing was I wasn't aware my husband was having outpatient surgery so soon. I knew that it was possible going to come up, but I guess I misunderstood what he was telling me before the trip because I was so busy trying to get ready to leave that when I got back, I found out we were having outpatient surgery on Wednesday. I went, okay. So I lost that entire day. And I did work a little, like I said yesterday, I finally got back to it. What took my sewing time when I did return was this jacket you see back here. And we're going to talk about that here in just a minute. That was a project with my ASG group, and I wanted to participate in something this year. If that's the only thing I get to participate in, I wanted to do something. So I did that back there. What I want to talk to you first is a pattern order that I made prior to leaving, and the order was PDF files, so I was able to get those printed before I left. And I finally said I'm going to order and try some Tina Gibbons patterns. Now, I'd heard about Tina Gibbons for the first time with Gini from the Big Sew Along. My iron is cooling off, it beeps. And I was intrigued by this alteration she made on the Zelda slip. She added a button band to that garment. Now, she didn't have the ruffle on it, and you'll see that pattern here in just a few minutes, but I'm going to link that video. It was made about 2 or 3 weeks ago, where she walks you through the process of adding this button band to this slip. There's many other things she's done with Tina Gibbons patterns. You can go through her videos and look at all those if you're interested. But I thought you might be interested in seeing how she went about adding a button band in case there's a garment out there similar to this that you might have and you might want to add a button band. They're very good, clear, precise directions. So I'm going to link that in the description box. Now, my order. My order consisted of 3 free patterns and 2 that I purchased. Now, one of my free patterns I still have yet to get in an envelope. I'm dreading cutting this thing apart because it's like a magazine. There's the cover page and 2 direction pages that, of course, will have very little to be done. But, you know, when you've got all this to put together, of course, everything is coded in such a way that makes it pretty easy. It runs A through, she's got some alternate letters on here. I'm already worried. What do I do with this pattern here? Let me get this where you can see it. This is called the Lotus shirt. And I don't want to wear it as a shirt. I want to wear it as a robe. I think it'd make a great summer, springtime, maybe fall robe. Something light. Just a nice, soft cotton, or if I can afford it and find it wide enough, batiste. The yardage is given for 54-inch wide, and I think there's a reason for that. I noticed when I was putting some of the others together that the circumference for this bottom is going to be quite wide, and so all the pieces probably need to be on 54-inch wide fabric to begin with, just to get this all cut in one piece down here. The part up here is not so bad, it's down here where all this fullness gets added in with her patterns. So I think that's what's up with that. But I still think this would make a great robe, maybe even a gown. The other free patterns I have is I purchased, you don't purchase, but you have to put in your purchase box, is Kristen. This is a really simple spaghetti strap slip. One of them that I'm most likely to wear as a slip and probably decorate the edge up at the neckline with some of my French laces that I could just gather real simple and put up there to decorate that up a little bit. But again, I thought it was worth trying this one, and so I purchased that one in the freebie box. The last one was Delores. I liked it because it had wider straps, and I like the ruffle at the bottom. Again, this one can be lengthened, and you can make a full-length gown, mid-calf length gown, or just to the knee as shown like this one. Now the pants that you see there do come with this pattern. They're like a bloomer pant. I cut it out. One thing that's confusing on this pattern was the ruffle is labeled bloomer, but the ruffle really goes with the slip, not the pants. The pants is a front back piece, and then there's a little cuff like added to the bottom here that's gathered in. So that is for the bloomers, but not, you know, just be cautious. If you go in and you purchase this, and again, this one's free just for this look here that's shown here in the front, just be aware that your ruffle is labeled bloomer. Rhea was one of the ones I had been looking at for a while. Rhea, I'm not sure how you pronounce that. It's R-H-E-A, yeah. But I love this shirt. I've always loved shirts that kind of button on a diagonal, and this one does. Now, I know on here it doesn't look like it, but on the drawing, it does look like it. Let me get that out for you. Find it real quick. Keep things from falling. So here's the line drawing right there. So you can see it's got a button on the diagonal. Gini's video is on this pattern here, Zelda. It's a slip pattern. It's just really cute. Would make a cute nightgown. Her slip for this does not include the ruffle, but the button band goes down the center front, and she shows you how to do all that. Very, very pretty when she got it finished. I do want to try it and see if I can pull that off for myself and have that slip as a long button band type tunic shirt. little sleeveless shirt that I could wear. Or you could even still wear it as a slip underneath something else, like she styles many of her things that way. She's always so cute when she gets finished. So this definitely will be made as a gown, as a slip, and I'm planning on doing one of the button band versions like Gini did in her video. So now we're going to talk about my ASG project. I needed to do something that's a redesign or upcycle, any refashion. I like calling it refashion. I mean, I just think, you know, you're adding to something or taking away. You're changing it up. It's no longer whatever label designer is in your garment that you purchased. It's, or even if it's a garment you made, but for some reason you don't like it, like that orange shirt that's hanging back there. I'm going to change some things about that skirt. You change it to make it more of something you will wear so that you reach for it in the closet. I mean, I've got things in my closet I never reach for anymore, and I just think that suddenly things became uncomfortable. So like on this jacket, I was inspired by two different people. The first one was Pat. Pat's a member of my ASG group, and she had last year taken a white jacket that she had purchased at Chico's, and she said, the collar bothers me. The cuffs hang clear down to these knuckles. It wasn't comfortable. And so one day she just decided, I'm taking the collar off, I'm taking these cuffs off, and she took off the lower band of the jacket and stitched away about, I would say, a ½ inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch away, because she did take away the seam. So see, my seam where those were sewn is still there. She cut that completely off of her garment, as well as her cuffs were cut completely off, and the lower band was cut completely off. I chose to leave mine. I honestly couldn't remember how much she had cut off, but after seeing the jacket again Tuesday, I got to see what she did. And she talked more in depth about what she did to finish her jacket. Like up here at the top, she chose to take her serger and do the chain stitch 3 rows away from the edge that she wanted to have raveled. And to get the chain to show up on this side, she did have to sew on this side being up, not this side up, this side up. So those are things that you could do to change up just a simple jacket, just a simple change like that. She also chose to change those buttons. She took these types of buttons off, which can be removed with 2 certain kinds of pliers, and you just pull, wiggle, pull, and it'll come completely off. It breaks the locking system on it. I didn't think it was that easily done. When my husband was taking all these off for me, only one of them came off in seconds, and the other more like a minute. It took a little bit of work to get them off, but they will come off. Now I'm still trying to decide, do I want to take off this lower band? Pat was encouraging me to do that. She said, oh, take that off. You just take it off. You'll be glad you did. I'm sort of on the fence about it, but what do you think? Should I take that off? I've got some nice little pockets right here. They're not useful because they're so narrow, but I am thinking about maybe taking that off, which means this button could be used up here, and then I just have to cover one more. It would solve my problem with the buttons that are down here. I wouldn't have to pull those off. They would cut off, and I would do it just like I did mine, cut it right here along this edge, where I'd have those 4 layers of fabric that would fray over time. Now, how did I come up with this color? Well, the story behind that is I had purchased the Riley Blake Bloom Charm Pack. Now, what I'd gone down to Muppin's Sewing Emporium, which Cheryl Shabota owns the shop, I went down there looking for yardage. I remembered her saying she had a few bolts of it, but I was misunderstanding. She had charm packs. Well, I wasn't sure I wanted a charm pack, but on my way out the door, she said, you know, they make great patches. He's such a seller. And I thought, I couldn't get that out of my head. I was like, patches. Kind of think about this a minute. I ended up a few days later going back and buying that charm pack. Now, long story short, I kind of put that on the back burner because we're getting ready to take this trip. I had to go out of town, and I thought, I'll deal with that later. But I did decide before I left that I was probably going to do something with this denim jacket as my project because my time was going to be so limited. And so when I got back, I was thinking about using woven ribbons. I have tons of these woven ribbons that are, you know, like I like embroidery detail, like stuff on them, the fancy woven ribbons. And I played around with several of them, and then I went to my more metallic-y woven ribbons that still have a design woven in them, but you've got that metallic factor going on. I have tons of those I purchased off of a friend years ago when she decided she wasn't going to make anything with these again and just needed to get rid of them. And so played around with all that. I spent all day Saturday off and on doing things. Finally settled on one brightly colored woven ribbon. It was about this deep, and it had bird and floral detail on it. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. And I was going to run it like across this edge right here, here, and across the back edge. Just the lower edge of the yolks. Easy, sew that on there. Boom, I'm done. Well, I slept on it. Then I go to church on Sunday, and on the way home from church, I could not convince myself that that was the best idea. And then I thought, but you've got that bloom packet. You could do reverse applique. And I knew that was it. That was the exact thing this jacket needed. So I did reverse applique. Now I will share with you that I did this one and this one wrong. You're supposed to like prep your colors and get all that sewn down and then cut away. Well, I cut away, and then when I was trying to get all that fabric positioned and have it lay smooth, that's when I realized, sure, you did this backwards. It would have been much easier had you done the color first. So my color was put in there second, and trying to position fabric on these thin pieces here that now have been compromised, it's not going to lay flat. I had to go reach for my narrow double sticky sided tape that I use sometimes for seaming down a seam, sort of stay straight. I put tape in between here. I think it kind of washes away. I even put little bits above these to get this to lay flat enough so that I could stitch around each one of these and get this in. So this wasn't too hard to put that in. That stayed flat, but I had to use that tape on all of these as well as over here. Now this one went a little bit easier because I had gained experience from this one that I used over here. But I did not make the same mistake when I went to do the sun that's on the back. I did put each one of these pieces in before I cut away. I put the yellow in, and then I did my little rectangle pieces that went across here and cut away. I did some further trimming on each one as and I can see already that I need to do some more trimming on this because all that could come off. So I will be doing some more trimming on each of these. They don't ravel that much, but it's okay if they do because I have zigzagged around each one of these at least twice. So that's going to keep that pretty stable. I do want this to ravel more if it will. Each time I wash it, it seems to ravel more. I want to share with you is make sure you pick up a fabric marker pen that evaporates when heat is applied or just purely evaporates over time. I reached for the wrong pen, and of course after I had made all these marks on it, I realized, oh sure, you just used a gel pen to mark with, and gel's like, you know, permanent. Well, it's not. Nothing's permanent. Not even a permanent marker. You can get it out. But you just have to use the right product to get it out. So I read online, and after I got everything finished and I wanted to remove some more of that pink ink that I put on here, OxyClean will take it out. Now, it's taken 2 washings of OxyClean to get most of that out. And I noticed last night I washed it again. That was a 3rd washing since I've made it. And most of what I was seeing, little dots around here, is now gone today. So happy Friday sews, everyone. And let me know what you're making in your sewing room. Again, let me know about that button band. Thanks for watching, and I really appreciate all your likes and all that you have subscribed. Thank you so, so much.